us at 177milkstreet.com. You can find each week's recipe, watch the new season of our television show, subscribe to our magazine, or order our latest cookbook, Milk Street Tuesday nights. You can also find us on Facebook at Christopher Kimball's Milk Street and on Instagram and Twitter at 177 Milk Street. We'll be back next week with more food stories, and thanks, of course, for listening.
Christopher Kimball's Milk Street Radio is produced by Milk Street in association with WGBH. Executive producer Melissa Baldino. Senior audio editor Melissa Allison. Producer Annie Sensabaugh. Associate producer Jackie Nowak. Production assistant Stephanie Cohn. And production help from Debbie Paddock. Senior audio engineer Douglas Sugars. Additional editing from Vicki Merrick, Sydney Lewis, and Haley Fager. And audio mixing from Jay Allison at Atlantic Public Media in Woods Hole, Massachusetts. Theme music by Tube Up Crew. Additional music by George Brindle Egloff. Christopher Kimball's Milk Street Radio is distributed by PRX. Supporting WHYY, the Delaware Art Museum, a magical world of storybook art awaits at the new family-friendly exhibition, Fairy Tales to Nursery Rhymes, the Droller collection of picture book art, featuring some of the most beloved illustrations in children's literature. From the Brothers Grimm and Mother Goose to Dinosaur Bob and Bumble Artie, engaging stories come alive in more than 100 original illustrations dating from 1879 to the present, on view through March 12th. Learn more at delart.org.
This is WHYY-FM, Philadelphia, WNJN-FM, 89.7 Atlantic City, WNJZ, 90.3 Cape May Courthouse, WNJB-FM, 89.3 Bridgeton, WNJM, 89.9 Manahawkin, and WNJS-FM, 88.1 Berlin.
This is WHYY at 1:59. Good afternoon. I'm Mary Cummings Jordan. Hope you're enjoying our programming. Fresh Air Weekend is next. WHYY in Philadelphia, I'm Terry Gross with Fresh Air Weekend. Today, Pamela Adlon, co-creator, director, co-writer, and star of the FX comedy series Better Things. Her character, like Adlon, is a single mother raising 3 girls while helping take care of her mother and trying to keep up her acting career. Turning 50 is often the kiss of death for an actress, but Adlon got her own show at 50. She's comfortable with her age. You look in the mirror and you're like, oh, I guess this is my neck now. Okay. But those things don't matter because your mind is richer. Also, we hear from Yoruba Richard, director of a new documentary about the actual Green Book, the pre-civil rights era travel guide that helped African Americans find safe places to eat, stay, and do business. And David Bianculli reviews Leaving Neverland, the HBO documentary about 2 men who say Michael Jackson molested them as children. First News.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Barbara Klein. Democratic presidential contender Bernie Sanders officially kicked off his campaign this afternoon, holding a rally in his hometown of Brooklyn, New York. Unlike his run in 2016, Sanders highlighted his spare working-class background, but his message included the same issues, including health care.
Health insurance companies, whether you like it or not, the United States is going to join every other major country on earth and guarantee health care to all people as a right.
Tomorrow, Sanders moves on to Selma, Alabama, and Chicago, where he'll stress civil rights. A vote on a tentative contract agreement between Oakland, California's teachers union and the school district has been delayed. Teachers were going to vote on it today, but it's been put off until tomorrow. If they approve it, it would end their week-long strike. Georgia's state government is taking an extraordinary step to help people still trying to get back on their feet after last October's Hurricane Michael. As Georgia Public Broadcasting's Grant Blankenship reports, for the first time, the state is using a welfare benefit as disaster aid.
When Hurricane Michael smashed through 20 counties in southwest Georgia last year, the damage left many people into poverty who'd been living just on the cusp of qualifying applying for temporary assistance for needy families, or TANF benefits. The Georgia Division of Family and Children's Services is issuing around $15 million in special disaster TANF benefits to families trying to repair homes or make down payments on new apartment leases. Deputy Director John Anderson says this is the first time any state has taken this step.
We really feel like what happened with Hurricane Michael is unprecedented, and we need to get this program out.
The federal block grant the money comes from still has to cover conventional assistance to needy families. The estimated 33,000 families affected have until the 15th of March to mail in a paper application. For NPR News, I'm Grant Blankenship in Macon, Georgia.
China is welcoming the Trump administration's decision to delay a scheduled hike in U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods. NPR's Rob Schmitz reports the new tariffs were supposed to take effect yesterday.
In a statement posted on the website of the Ministry of Commerce, China said that it was aware of the U.S. Trade Representative's announcement to maintain tariffs at 10% until further notice. Originally, these 10% tariffs on $200 billion worth of Chinese imports into the U.S. were scheduled to be imposed by now. But President Trump prevented the tariff hike when he announced last week that trade negotiations with the Chinese were going well. The U.S. government then released language to delay the scheduled hike, and China has welcomed that step. Trade negotiations between the U.S. and China are expected to continue into March, and President Trump has hinted that he may meet Chinese leader Xi Jinping at Mar-a-Lago later in the month. Rob Schmitz, NPR News, Shanghai.
This is NPR News. The Philadelphia Phillies have made it official. Six-time All-Star outfielder Bryce Harper is joining the team thanks to a record contract of $330 million over 13 years. As NPR's Tom Goldman reports, that makes Harper the newest and richest player on the Phillies roster.
The Phillies confirmed Friday night what had been known for several days. 26-year-old Bryce Harper now owns baseball's richest overall contract in history. The club's official Twitter account tweeted, "We got him." And because sometimes $330 million over 13 years just isn't enough, Harper reportedly could make more than $10 million in bonuses over the life of the contract. Harper wore number 34 for his old team, the Washington Nationals, but the Phillies are considering retiring that number because it was worn by the late Roy Halladay, a beloved pitcher in Philadelphia. So Harper will wear number 3, the same number worn by another pretty good left-handed slugger, Babe Ruth. No pressure, Bryce. Tom Goldman, NPR News.
20-time Grand Slam tennis champion Roger Federer has another impressive statistic today. He won the final at the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Championships, giving him his 100th American Association of Tennis Professionals title. Jimmy Connors has him beat, though. He won 109. Skiing's world champion Mikaela Shiffrin won her 3rd consecutive World Cup overall title today after a race in Russia was canceled because of snowstorms. I'm Barbara Klein, NPR News.
Support for NPR comes from Baird. For 100 years, Baird has partnered with individuals, businesses, institutions, and communities working together toward their financial goals. More information is available at Baird100.com. And the listeners who support this NPR station.
This is Fresh Air Weekend. I'm Terry Gross. My guest Pamela Adlon is the co-creator, director, co-writer, and star of the FX comedy series Better Things. She plays Sam Fox, who, like Adlon, is raising 3 girls as a single mother while also helping her aging mother, who lives next door, and trying to keep her acting career alive. 2 of Pamela Adlon's daughters are now teenagers, the other is 21. Adlon has been acting since she was 9. She won an Emmy for her voice work as Bobby Hill, the son in the series King of the Hill, and appeared on 7 seasons of the TV series Californication. She had a long collaborative relationship with Louis C.K. on his show Louie and on his earlier show Lucky Louie. He and Adlon co-created the series Better Things, but she severed ties after he was accused of sexual misconduct by several women, and he admitted it was true. We'll talk about that a little later. Let's start with a clip from the new season of Better Things. Adlon's character, Sam, is being examined by the doctor when she starts telling him how stressed out she is by all the mom stuff she has to take care of. And the doctor says, "Oh, like errands? Just let go of it. Everyone's got errands." Here's her response.
No, errands are like groceries and going to the post office. The real mom stuff. Soccer club signups and dance classes and tutors and tuition payments and parent-teacher and camps that I have to get them into, and mean girl issues with my youngest at school, and birth control with my oldest, and cruelty from my middle daughter. And then there's my own mom, who is driving me nuts, and I'm pretty sure she has a mental something disorder. And my middle daughter is hitting puberty hard, and I am definitely going through menopause. Yet I still get my period, and I have a beard, and 2 mortgages. So yeah, Dr. Babu, it's like, it's a lot. And some mornings I just,
Oh my God.
lay in bed in my room, and I stare at the ceiling, and I just say, I just can't do it anymore. I just can't. I just can't. I just can't. I can't. I can't. So anyway, could you please just give me some Xanax or Ativan's or Ambiens or something? Anything you think that'll help me get a full night's sleep, because that's what I really need, Birju. I need a full night of sleep.
Pamela Adlon, welcome to Fresh Air and congratulations on season 3 of Better Things.
Thank you so much, Terry.
So this season, everyone is going through a change. Like you said, your oldest is going to college, the middle's in puberty, your youngest is being bullied at school. Your character's mother seems to be in the early stages of dementia. Your character's going through menopause. Are these the personal issues you've been dealing with?
I say this about my show, that it's an exaggerated version of my life. So it's like Sam Fox is me in a cape. Certainly I'm in a multi-generational situation with all women in my life. My 3 daughters live at home. My mother lives next door. I'm what I think they call the sandwich generation. And so these issues are all happening to me to a certain extent right now. My own mother isn't going through dementia, but it's an interesting place to go. And I like people to have their own interpretation, and I think that's why people take this show so personally, because everybody's going through some version of these different things.
I think women over the years have been very uncomfortable talking about getting older, maybe because I think a lot of women feel devalued with age. They're no longer considered sexual. So how did you feel about putting it out there, about crossing that threshold?
It's so exciting to me, because I didn't say my real age for years, and
why not?
Because of the taboo of it. And when people find out, especially being an actor in the industry, it hurts you. For a woman, you hit that 40, it affects you, because it is such an ageist, sexist industry, which I think is now shifting and changing. It's still not 100% yet, but it's the irony is not lost on me that my father, he hit 50, and basically, he was a writer and producer, and the jobs kind of started drying up for him, because people wanted younger people. They want young blood, and they valued youth over, ability even. And so then I turned 50, and I have my own show, and all of a sudden it's a whole new world for me professionally, with all the different jobs that I do. And my show is a wonderful, I love my show. It's beautiful. I can tell these stories in an artful, cinematic way. It has great music, great actors. But also my show is the story about me, and how I know that people are excited. This lady's been kicking around in this business since I'm 9 years old, and she hits it big at 50.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the things that bother you most, and some of the things you find most liberating about having turned 50 a few years ago?
You know, only 2.
2 years ago. Okay.
See, it's still
2 years ago.
sensitive.
Yes. I see.
You know, it's just, you kind of, when you get comfortable with yourself, it's a way of feeling confident and not having to hurry up and catch up and measure up to other people. When you let go of that, the power is incredible. If you look for things that are, you know, that if somebody's giving you a side eye and you think they don't like you or anything like that, you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, I guess this is my neck now. Okay, well, let's keep going with that. Or are these jowls? Is this what you would call jowls? It's so interesting. Oh, arm cellulite. That's fun. That's fun. You know, so it's like, you know, you have the physical things, but those things don't matter because your mind is richer, your experiences are richer, your life is deeper, your connections with your friends are deeper. My kids are older now, and our relationships are so much deeper than they used to be. You know, I used to try to get as far away from my kids as I could when they were younger, and now I want them around me all the time, and they want that too.
So in the opening of the first episode, your character's trying on clothes and none of them fit because your character has put on a few pounds. So it seems like you put on a few pounds. So I think in that opening scene, there's maybe a few extra pounds than there really were.
No, that's all me, Terry.
Okay, all right. So was that stress eating because this has been such a difficult time with you doing so much to get the show done?
You know what? It's very interesting because I wrapped season 2 of my show and I went into the editing room and, you know, just a few months went by. My body changed. You know, I got thicker and I don't feel bad about my body or anything, but it was shocking. And I remember being in my closet and trying on pants. I'm like, I just wore these 3 months ago, and things were just tighter. And it was a moment that I thought, oh boy, I'm gonna have to do this in my show. Because it's, you know, you get into your 50s, your metabolism does funky things. And, you know, I decided that it would be a very generous thing for me to do it, to kind of illustrate it in my show so everybody doesn't feel so alone, because, you know, that happened to me and you sit there and you're by yourself. And for people, women in particular, when our bodies don't measure up to what our idea is of what we're supposed to look like with our clothes off in the mirror, that's a shocking thing. You know, it's not our fault and it's not up to us to maintain some kind of physical image for anybody but ourselves.
I like the fact that when your character realizes her clothes no longer fit her because she's put on a few pounds, she doesn't go like, so I'm going on a diet now and I will lose that weight. My goal will be to fit back in these clothes. I mean, she goes about her life.
Interesting.
You know,
Yeah.
There's not, and also you as the star of the show and also the director of the show, you don't have somebody else telling you, Pamela Adlon, if you're going to continue playing this role, you have to lose some weight. No one's telling you that. It's your show.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Isn't that amazing? Also,
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't gain that much weight. But
No, I know.
I'm kidding. But listen, I remember being a teenage actor and being on a show. I'm not going to say the name, but I remember some girls on the show being pressured to lose weight, and it was extremely inappropriate, and it was extremely damaging. You know, the psyche of a young girl. I mean, that was, being in the 80s, in 80s television, that would be the ultimate era of toxic, trying to control the way women are portrayed.
My guest is Pamela Adlon, the co-creator, co-writer, director, and star of the FX comedy series Better Things. We'll talk more after a break, and David Bianculli will review the new HBO documentary, Leaving Neverland, which focuses on two men who say Michael Jackson molested them as children. I'm Terry Gross, and this is Fresh Air Weekend.
The Neubauer Family Foundation supports WHYY's Fresh Air and its commitment to sharing ideas,